Adele Alexandre is going to be our storyteller for the parable of the long-handed spoons. And our volunteer at the welcome table, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. And Courtney. More like voluntold. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Long ago, there lived an old woman who had a wish. She wished more than anything to see for herself the difference between heaven and hell. The monks in the temple agreed to her request. They put a blindfold over her eyes and said, "First, you shall see hell." When the blindfold was removed, the old woman was standing at the entrance to a great dining hall. The hall was full of round tables, each piled high with the most delicious foods, meats, vegetables, fruits, breads, and desserts of all kinds. The smells that reached her nose were wonderful. The old woman noticed in hell there were people seated around those round tables. But she saw that their bodies were thin, and their faces were gaunt and creased with frustration. Each person held a spoon. The spoons must have been 3 feet long. They were so long that the people in hell could not reach the food on those platters. But they could not get the food back to their mouths. As the old woman watched, she heard the hungry, desperate cries. "I've seen enough," she shouted. So again, the blindfold was put around her eyes, and the old woman heard, "Now you shall see heaven."
See the part that says pause here for volunteer action? If
Pause here for volunteer actions. It's my peripheral vision. I didn't see you were attempting to implement the implements. There we go. They need to be sitting further apart.
You're in charge of hell now?
Some people think I am. Hey, you're lucky he's not taping your mouths closed. Or that was blindfolded. There you go.
Hey, this isn't some kind of Lutheran church.
That's right. Music for hell.
Now, all y'all might wonder what's on the menu in hell this morning. And I am here.
And I bet the food in hell is really hot.
No. That is why it is packed with ice blocks. All y'all have a choice of vanilla pudding, chocolate pudding, vanilla and chocolate, if you so choose, strawberry gelatin, or lemon lime gelatin. So, yeah, pick one. Go ahead and feed yourself.
were so long that the people in hell could reach the food on those platters, but they could not get the food back in their mouths. The old woman watched. She heard their hungry, desperate cries. "I've seen enough," she shouted. So again, the blindfold was put around her eyes, and the old woman heard, "Now you shall see heaven." And when the blindfold was removed, the old woman was confused, because there she stood, again at the entrance of the great hall, filled with round tables piled high with the same lavish feast. And again, she saw that there were people just out of arm's reach of the food with those 3-foot-long spoons. But as the old woman looked closer, she noticed that the people in heaven were plump and had round, happy faces. As she watched, a joyous sound of laughter filled the air. And soon the old woman was laughing too, for now she understood the difference between heaven and hell for herself. The people in heaven were using these long spoons to feed each other. Heaven and hell offer the same circumstances and condition. The critical difference is the way people treat each other. The old woman asked the monk, "Do these poor souls in hell know they do not have to go hungry? They could use the spoons to feed their neighbors, who will surely return the favor." The monk shrugged and sighed. Yet again and again they had been told, and always they replied, "You expect me to feed these detestable, defeatable, disgusting persons sitting across the table? I would rather starve than give them the pleasure of eating." The old woman then understood who is worthy of heaven and who can go straight to hell.
Thank you, volunteers.